Hello everyone. Today I am going to teach grade 8 mathematics chapter 1 rational numbers. This video consists information about properties of rational numbers. Understanding rational numbers deeply requires you not only to know important mathematical ideas but also to recognize how these ideas relate to one another. This is a chapter of NCERT book. Chapter 1 Rational Numbers. Rational numbers. A rational number is a number that can be expressed in the form of P upon Q, where Q is not equals to 0. P is the numerator and Q is the denominator, and Q will not be equals to 0. For example, 0.3, 5 and 7 upon 9. Yes, when I am writing decimal into the fraction, what it will become? 0.3, that will become 3 upon 10. Yes, it is a rational number. For 5, there is nothing in the denominator. When there is nothing in the denominator, we will assume it as 1. Yes, it is also a rational number. 7 upon 9, yes, 9 is the denominator, so it will be a rational number. Only 0 cannot be in the denominator for any rational number. There are properties of rational numbers. In these properties, we have to see our 4 fundamental operations there. These are addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. Let's see the first property, that is closure property. Let's see. What is the closure property? It means we are taking two rational numbers and we are applicable in addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. Let's see, when we are adding two rational numbers, the answer will become a rational number. Yes. So it is closed under addition. It means it is applicable in closure property. Addition is applicable in closure property. The next one is subtraction. Yes, it is closed under subtraction. When we are subtracting two rational numbers, the answer will become a rational number. So yes, it is applicable also. Subtraction is also applicable in closure property. The next one is multiplication. When we are multiplying two rational numbers, the answer will become a rational number. So yes, closed under multiplication. This property is applicable in multiplication also. You can see the examples I have showed in this PPT. But in division, when I am dividing any rational number with 0, it is not defined. Rational numbers are not closed under division. In division, it is not applicable because the set of all non-zero rational numbers is closed under division. Suppose I am doing A upon B divided by C upon D. That is equals to A. Yes, it happens. But if C upon D is 0, though it is not applicable. So that's why closure property is applicable in addition, subtraction and multiplication. The next one is associative property. Again, we have to see our 4 fundamental operations: addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. In addition, what we have to see, we can take 3 rational numbers togetherly. The first one is A upon B, second is C upon D and the third one is E upon F. So what we can do, I can take in addition, can be grouped in any order. We can grouped in any order. I can take A upon B outside and C upon D plus E upon F will togetherly. You can see in the example. And in associative property, there are two hands, LHS and RHS. When both are equal, in the right hand side, we can take the another order, A upon B plus C upon D in the bracket and E upon F outside the bracket. When we are adding, first in the bracket, we learned it in BODMAS. First we have to solve the bracket 1. When we solve it the bracket 1, then with the outside we can solve it. In addition and subtraction, you have to take the LCM and then you can solve it. While solving it, you can see if LHS is equals to RHS. Yes, in that case, associative property can be applicable in this. Next one is subtraction. It is not associative in this because when I am A upon B minus C upon D minus E upon F, what I can do, I can be grouped in any order. Again, I can take A upon B outside on the left hand side, but on the right hand side, I can take A upon B minus C upon D, because when I am subtracting 3 minus 4, that is minus 1. When I am subtracting 4 minus 3, that is 1. So minus 1 and 1 cannot be equal. So that's why in subtraction, associative property is not equal. I have told you previously, when in associative property there are two hands. One is LHS and another one is RHS. When both are togetherly equal, it means it is applicable. In multiplication, same, you can see with an example, A upon B into C upon D into E upon F. In any order we can multiply LHS or RHS, both sides will be equal, both hands will be equal, LHS and RHS. In that case, yes, multiplication is applicable in associative property. The same is in division. Yes, it is not applicable. A upon B divided by C upon D divided by E upon F, that is not equals to A upon B divided by C upon D divided by E upon F. You can grouped in any order. It's all up to you, and you can take the another examples by your own to find out it is equal or not. The next one is commutative property. That is, again, in that we can take two rational numbers togetherly, and in this case also both hands should be equal. A upon B plus C upon D is equals to C upon D plus A upon B can be added in any order. So you can see in the example, we can take 2 upon 7 plus 1 upon 4, that is equals to 1 upon 4 plus 2 upon 7. When LHS is equals to RHS, yes, it is commutativity. Again, in subtraction, it is not applicable because again I have told you the example in the previous slide. 3 minus 4, that is equals to minus 1, and 4 minus 3 is 1. That's why it is not applicable, because minus 1 is not equals to 1. So that's why commutative is also not applicable in subtraction. In multiplication, yes, can be multiplied in any order. A upon B into C upon D, or is equals to C upon D into A upon B. You can see the example. Same with in the division. Yes, it is not applicable because A upon B divided by C upon D, that is not equals to C upon D divided by A upon B. You can take another examples also to see, yes, it is applicable or not. Next is distributive property of multiplication over addition and subtraction. What we can do in addition, we can applicable in only in addition and subtraction, because multiplication happens. What multiplication distributes over addition when we are taking A upon B as a common multiplied by C upon D plus E upon F. So I can multiply A upon B with C upon D and A upon B into E upon F, because outside it's a multiplication sign. So when we are multiplying A upon B into C upon D, whatever the sign in the bracket, we put it outside, and again we are multiplying A upon B into E upon F. When there is a subtraction sign in between the bracket, so that property will become multiplication distributes over subtraction. In the second one, a upon b into c upon d minus e upon f. Again we are multiplying and put the sign of minus in front of the bracket. Next one is existence of identity. What is that? 0 is the additive identity. When I am adding any rational number with 0, what answer will come? The number itself. The same thing I have showed you. A upon b plus 0 is equals to 0 plus a upon b. That is equals to a upon b. Next one is 1 is the multiplicative identity. When I am multiplying any number with the 1, what it comes? The number itself. So a upon b, when I am multiplying a upon b into 1, what it will become? 1 is into a upon b, that is equals to a upon b. When we are interchanging also a upon b into 1 or 1 into a upon b, what will the answer will come? A upon b. Suppose I am giving you the example, I am multiplying 2 into 1, what it becomes? 2. When I am multiplying 1 into 2, what it becomes? 2. 1 is the multiplicative identity. When I am multiplying any number with the 1, the answer itself comes. That is called multiplicative identity. The next is existence of inverse. What is that? Additive inverse. Additive word comes from addition, means add. What is the inverse? Inverse means just opposite. What is the opposite of addition? That is negative. So when we are, suppose I am writing minus a upon b. Minus a upon b is the additive inverse of a upon b. And a upon b is the additive inverse of minus a upon b. When we are togetherly add both of them, because it is additive inverse, so that's why we add both of them. So answer will become 0. I am taking one example. 5. What is the additive inverse of 5? That is minus 5. You can remember it by one thing. Additive inverse words from add, and inverse means just opposite of it. So what is the opposite of 5 on the number line of the numbers? That is opposite of 5 is minus 5. When you people togetherly add both of them, what it becomes? 0. That is called additive identity. The next is multiplicative inverse. That means it is another name of multiplicative inverse is reciprocal. It means when I am writing a upon b into c upon d, that is equals to 1, because its inverse means just opposite it, and multiplying it both of them, it will become 1. Suppose I am taking an example of 2 upon 3. So what is the multiplicative inverse of 2 upon 3? 3 upon 2. When I am multiplying 2 upon 3 into 3 upon 2, that is equals to 1. So we can write also a upon b minus 1. So how can we write? B upon a or c upon d, wherever. I can give you the example. 5 upon 4 raised to the power minus 1. So it means we have to reciprocal it. We have to write its multiplicative inverse, that is 4 upon 5. The most important thing I would like to tell you, 0 has no reciprocal, because 0 upon 1, that is 1 upon 0. And in rational number, 0 cannot be defined as a denominator. So that's why 0 has no reciprocal. The reciprocal of 1 is 1 and minus 1 is minus 1. I thank you all of you. I hope you all will understand this concept very nice.